know what?
What?
We have Mark Allen here.
Yes.
He used to be on WIXY. I can't.
There we go. We got us all on now. See, we have the technology. We can do this.
Mark, is your headphones working?
Can you hear?
Testing.
Can you hear me now?
Did
Can
you
you hear
say
me now?
something?
Can you hear me now?
What? Oh yeah. Hey, I tell you, I want to get one of those phones.
Wait,
from,
Mark's putting on the
Verizon.
peace sign.
Do you mind if I wait till I?
Yeah, that's fine.
Mark's going to put his peace sign on after we're done talking to him.
Are we coming through on your headphones?
Yes, I can hear you now.
You can hear me now.
It
Yes.
sounds
Awesome.
good. All right.
You're
great.
listening to WIXY1260. We have Mark Allen in the studio with us, and Mark is not a stranger to WIXY1260. Right, Mark?
That's right. Actually, I worked at WIXY1260 in 1974 through 1976. And I'll tell you, that was one of the most good times. That's not exactly correct grammar, but
No, it's not, but that's okay.
It was a wonderful, wonderful time. It was like, somebody would say it's Tuesday, and we'd go, great, let's have a party. And we'd go tear up the Westlake Hotel or something.
See, you're my kind of people. I like that. That's why I'm at WIXY.
That's right.
Seriously,
see?
yes.
Well, this, you guys, I really appreciate the fact that you guys are keeping this wonderful legend continuing. And someone yesterday, when I interviewed you guys, was saying that I was surprised that so many people remembered the station, but
Oh, no.
Do you remember the magic reunions that used to happen? WMJI used to do reunions.
This man over here does.
Yeah, the WIXY reunions.
WIXY reunions.
They were wild.
I can remember going to one, probably been about 8 years ago now, when they invited everybody down to PJ's or Tommy's or something in the flats, that the WIXY jocks were going to be there. We were in 2 stretch limousines, and we could not get there. We had to abandon the cars because there was 10,000 people down there to see the WIXY DJs.
They were very, very, well, they called them the Supermen.
Call them Supermen.
And-
I never could quite live up to it, and I started out as a news guy.
Right.
But I had a lot of experience as a jock over at GCL, which is the name change thing, but if you guys want me, I can tell you that story.
Well, were you there when Joe Bohannon was there?
No, I was not. He was there before I was,
Right.
and many were. I was there in the 70s again.
So Denny was there, right? Or no? He was at MMA.
Well, we had Dick Kemp, we had Mike Ranieri, we had Michael Collins, we had Paxton Mills, a guy named Gruber Cleveland came in from California, from Fresno.
Paxton Mills used to be on GAR too.
Paxton was on GAR as well. Paxton is no longer with us now. He's another one of the folks that have passed on into history.
He's in rock and roll heaven, DJ
That's right.
heaven.
That's right. He's in rock and roll heaven. Many of the WIXY 1260 jocks are in that place. Of course, we still got Jim LaBarbera down in Cincinnati. The professor, they used to call him, and he comes back, and he'll be back. There's actually going to be a WIXY reunion, which I know you guys are going to want to get in on next year. And the WIXY jocks are coming from all over the country. I'm coming from Strongsville, so I won't have too far to go.
You know, I wish Jack Armstrong was still with us.
Jack.
Man, he was.
Yo, Lita!
There you
See,
go, there you
everybody,
go.
you just say his name, and that's the first thing that comes out of everybody's
That's it.
mouth.
That's
That's his trademark. The man could just talk as fast as anything, and
Oh, he
you
was
can
absolutely
understand
amazing.
him.
He could say so many things in 99 words in 33 seconds. It was just amazing how fast that guy could talk.
You are excellent. You're good.
Wait a second.
You can do that.
Just a moment. Oh, I think my ear's falling out. No, it's all right.
Well, you know what? When I was over at MJI, when the program
Where?
director took,
I've heard of that.
yeah, I asked him. I said, "Why don't we have another WIXY reunion?" He wouldn't do it because you guys were too wild. He did not want to do it, and then that's why MJI does not do it anymore.
Well,
That's part of the reason. Part of the reason is there's a guy over there on the air that really doesn't want to have anything to do with it. He's a little full of himself, and he's not interested in doing that.
Are we talking like the morning show?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
somebody in the morning.
Someone that's going to be retiring, but probably won't.
Rhymes with.
A lot of us have a face for radio, and there's a guy who really applied, for the permit.
Oh yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
Are
go
you
back.
bitter much? No.
Table for one. Anyway, Mark, let's go back to you.
You.
Okay. Tell us about your career. Where did you start? Where are you now? Tell us. Fill in the gaps.
There's a lot to fill in.
It's okay, we got all day.
In March of 2014, I'm going to celebrate 50 years in the broadcasting business. I'm 64 years old.
Let's give him a hand. That's fantastic.
Thank you. You guys are all going to be invited to listen. We're going to send out invitations.
That would be wonderful, and we will.
We're going to do a 3-hour special. Anyway,
Okay.
To answer your question more directly, in 1964, I was just a punk kid, but I loved broadcasting. I knew that's what I wanted to do, but all I could do was hang around Channel 8 with Ernie Ghoulardi-Anderson.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
That's all you could do.
Here we are at the Ghoulardifest.
That's too
I
bad.
spent a year and a half at Channel 8 blowing up little cars. That little hand on there that was blowing up the things, that was me.
Awesome. Oh,
Because
cool.
Ernie was afraid to do it. He had been injured. Something hit him in the back. And it wasn't serious, but he said, I'm not doing that. So I said, it's okay to kill interns. So, so that was the deal. So Ernie, excuse me, so Ernie had, what I wanted to do was go, and then come back like this. But I got it backwards. Anyway, Ernie and I had a wonderful relationship. You may remember Ron Swede, who became
the Ghoul.
He worked there on Saturdays, and I worked the Friday night show, and it was some kind of a union thing, which is weird because we were interns. I was there a year and a half, and they thought I was older than I was, because you may notice I'm a little larger than most folks. And they called me upstairs, and they said, we wanted to hire you. You're doing a great job. You're building props. You're doing, all these things behind the scenes. We'd like to hire you, like they did with Art Lafredo. Art and I, by the way, worked at WIXY together, but that's something else. Anyway, I go upstairs and they go, hey, we want to hire you. That's, and I said, wow, that's great. This is a dream come true. And they said, well, you graduated high school, right? And I said, I'm 16 years old, man. I'm still in high school. And that was the end of my career at WIXY. I mean, with Channel 8. Then I went out of town, worked at WSMS, SMS in Florida, Channel 51. I did that was an AM FM TV. I did voices on the AM. I did automation on the FM. I ran camera. I was on camera. I did, that clown, Bozo the Clown. That was a franchise, and I got to wear the suit and run the camera too.
Wow.
And I also did weather down there at Channel 51. And I don't know if you guys saw my publicity picture, but that I don't mind showing people. I don't want them to look at me now. But the publicity picture's not too bad.
Yeah, I had that publicity picture.
Yeah.
I got that from. We were looking at it. Yeah, you're a cutie.
Yeah.
You still are, but I know you don't want to admit that, but.
No, I'm not telling lies anymore. I'm too old. I'm too close to my maker. I'm going to stay away from. I'm staying away from the lying, guys. I can continue if you want, but
We want you to continue. Because we want you to get back into the WIXY days, because we want to expand a little bit when you were there and some things that were happening while you were there. But we want to lead up to that a little bit, and then we want to talk about what you're doing now.
And of course, we've got to hear you throw it out to a song. That has to happen before you're allowed to get up.
Plus, we have a special surprise for you, because when you were at WIXY, they did air checks. That thing called an air check.
Yes.
If you were a DJ, you had those things. So we're gonna get that in here too. But keep going, Mark. Let's get you back to WIXY.
well, okay. Coming up to that, I worked at a number of different stations in Cleveland: WZZP, WHK, Channel 8. Of course, you knew about. Some of the other little stations. I worked at a lot of little stations. I also went out of town, worked in Clearfield, Pennsylvania, went to Fort Lauderdale, I told you about. I worked at Whistle in Buffalo, New York, which is what people did in those days. That's called paying your dues. Nowadays, if you work cheap, you're good. You can get a gig, If you got
Or for free.
Yeah. So, I was at G98 for the third time that I had worked there. I worked there 3 different times, under 3 different general managers for 3 different reasons. And I was released because they were going to change format. And I said to my attorney, I've got a non-compete contract. To explain to your listeners, some people have contracts, and what they want you to do is they don't want you on the air at another station right away, so you sign a non-compete contract. Mine was for 6 months. So I said to my attorney, Eric Stevens wants me to come over to WIXY. Eric and I have been friends, and he's a great guy, and he wants me to come work at WIXY, start in news to get my feet wet. What can I do? He said, change your name. I said, it can't be that simple. And he says, oh yeah, I looked at your contract. It's lame. Just change your name. So I said, Eric, I'm Bob Charles, but I can't use that name. I've always been Bob Charles, except at WIXY when I had to change my name. So, boing boing. The man's playing with the Computron.
Yes,
Is something coming in from the third generation? No, sorry.
No, that's not the third. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Yeah,
just
no,
don't,
we're good.
Just don't look out! Don't pay attention to that man behind the curtain. So, yeah, Eric Stevens says I have a jingle for Mark Allen, who the original Mark Allen was Bob Dearborn.
Okay.
He went to Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
So Eric says, I got a jingle for you. You're now Mark Allen. I said, that's cool. I'm working. This is the important thing. It was a beautiful studio at 3940 Euclid. Color lights around the top of the studio. Beautiful fishbowl. Just a joy to work in. And of course, the students would come by from the broadcasting school and they'd stand there with their tongues hanging out. Oh boy, I want to do that, And I'd invite them in,
Right.
And the boss said, don't get them kids in here. And I said, come on. And I was there for about 3 years. I did a little bit of news at first, which I always had a lot of fun with because you had to do the AM and the FM, which was WDOK. So it was like this. WIXY, ABC News. And then 15 minutes later, from the lands of the Western Reserve, from WDOK, here's the news. And that was cool. That really tested your range.
Exactly.
It was a lot of fun. And then the DJ stuff was just so much fun. And the appearances were wonderful. We go to Public Hall for a WIXY Appreciation Day. Here we are at Public Auditorium. We got Tommy James and the Shondells. They've got the whole back of the stage with the wonderful graphics and everything and the moving. It was just great stuff. Thousands of kids down there that got in for next to nothing. And you'd walk out on the stage, say hi, and then screaming, and the wind would knock you back again. It was just so much fun. And the music was exciting, the times were exciting, the jingles were exciting.
And you could be a personality back then. You had your own personality back then. You weren't controlled.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm always puzzling with that now, that we have format radio and we have personality radio. And format radio, kids, is where you've got some cards and it says, say this, say this, play that. Whereas the radio you're talking about, a person can show their own personality a little bit, have some fun on the radio. Like I could say something like, I was going to make a German chocolate cake today, but I ran out of Germans.
Today everything's generic. Everything is so generic.
I met her. She used to sell apples at 9th and Euclid. It was Jen and her cousin Eric, wasn't it? No, generic. Okay, You're right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't spook with you like that.
But you know what? Us, WIXY1260 online, we're bringing that back.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Everybody has their own personality. Everybody does their own thing.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mike.
Right, Rob.
Yeah, does your program director occasionally say, you're talking too much?
You know what?
Yeah, but when you work for free.
We can talk as much as we want.
You know what? We got a great owner. We got a great PD. I mean, he is so cool.
That's great. You guys are so lucky. And I'm in awe. I was here yesterday spending a lot of time whenever I could, because we're set up right next to you on the station. I'm in one of the stations I'm involved in, three of them. But I come over and I would listen and I said, wow, this is great. These guys are doing a wonderful job, and you didn't have 15 or 20. I had 10 years when I went to WIXY. I was already in the biz 10 years. But, you guys are just fans that have really put yourselves into this, and you all sound so professional, and you work so hard to make this sound like the original WIXY1260. I'm in awe of you guys. I think you're doing a fabulous job.
Thank you very much.
For you. We should have an applaud for these guys. Yeah. Mark Allen. Well, okay. Thank you. What was it, Ralph Bunch? Is that your name? Oh, Ray King. I know. I saw it. I was just kidding.
He was kidding.
I was teasing you, Ray. So what else would you like to know?
Well, okay, you worked for WIXY.
Yeah.
Okay. Some good times, some bad times. Was there ever any bad times? I mean, we hear stories of WIXY, for those of us that were kids listening on New Year's Eve night with that cassette recorder, with the microphone in front of the radio station, playing the AM, doing the countdown for the end of the year. I've always heard that WIXY, it was like family. You guys got along, everybody had fun, and we hear stories of, It was wild. Okay, tell us some of your experiences. Maybe if you was there ever any bad times? Really?
There was just a couple of things that happened that actually were turned into press relations coups. Dick Kemp one time was sitting on, remember the Gervis Brown Derby bull? Maybe your listeners, that was a great big thing that the Brown Derby would haul around in parades. Well, Ernie was going to do, not Ernie, but what was his name? Dick Kemp, yes.
Dick Kemp.
The Wild
Child.
I'm the child from Wild. Anyway, so he was going to do, say this carefully, a bull sitting contest.
Oh, I know where this is going.
So he was sitting on the bull in front of the public auditorium, I believe, at 40th, near us. No, it might have been the old, it was the old arena, which was at 36th and Euclid on the north side. So he's sitting on the bull, and some guy came by and shot him in the head with a pellet from a pellet gun. Just a little thing. For those of you that are listening and can't see this, it's about this big. But he got that in the temple. He's very fortunate he didn't get it in the eye or something. That was a bad thing. Although the radio station went nuts and called all the other stations and got thousands of dollars in free publicity. But as you were saying, we got along well, and we did. I said earlier that somebody would say, it's Tuesday, and we go, great, let's go party. And this is true. The Westlake Hotel used to have a great bar. That's over right on the edge of Rocky River in Lakewood.
Yeah.
And we'd go over there and just tear that place up. And they loved having us there because everybody knew we were going to be there, so the place was always full of people. But we would run them out. Just get out of here. We're trying to drink here. You bothering us. And we partied together. We drank together. We played together. We had a lot of fun. The jocks were changing from time to time, but generally it was pretty stable. I was there for a little over 2 years, I guess. Dick Kemp was there for about 5 years. Dick and I became very close, and I can't tell you why. If you've seen his picture, recently, the last time he had a picture taken, he looks, a little different. But he and I were very tight, and I said to him one time, Dick, why are you driving these old beater cars? And he says, oh, hell, I forget where I park. He'd go to a bar and get a little bit sauced and tight, and he'd forget where he parked. So he says, I drive these old junker cars. It don't matter.
Then if I lose it, then it doesn't matter. Yeah, okay.
Well,
that works.
Hey, didn't he ride his motorcycle into the studio one time?
No, you're talking. That's Ghoulardi. And
I thought it was a Wild Child too.
No,
that was Ghoulardi.
If he did it, I wasn't there.
Okay.
Because I don't believe there would have been a way with the hallways and the way the newsroom was set up. I don't believe there would have been a way to do that.
Did you guys ever broadcast from the transmitter down?
Yes.
I think that's where he drove his motorcycle.
That's very possible. Dick lived, I can tell it now, he lived in Wakeman, Ohio. It was 59 miles one way for him to come to the transmitter. And so he would ride a motorcycle often. And the studio was for a time out in Seven Hills at the transmitter. I remember when it was a dirt road to get back there, and sometimes you'd get stuck. And they started putting houses in there, and I said, man, these people are going to be getting WIXY on their toasters,
Stunts. We heard a lot of different things that the WIXY broadcast teams would go out and do. We know we had a Lady Godiva issue at one point in time. I think I saw the picture of you somewhere high up in the sky.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what were you doing up there?
That was the Cod submarine, which still is in Cleveland.
Right.
That's the USS 224 Cod, the World War II submarine. The reason I know all that stuff so much is we were approached to save the Cod because the Navy wanted to move it out of there. It's decommissioned, but it's still sitting there, and the Navy was always getting requests for pieces, parts to keep it going, this, that, and they were going to haul it out of there. So Paxton Mills stayed the weekend on the boat, and I went down to visit him, and here's a story about the Cod. I just in happenstance said something about, man, I'm hungry, I could use a pizza. 45 minutes later, we got 16 pizzas.
Oh my goodness.
Listeners bring in these pizzas down there, and of course the gate is locked. they locked us in there. So the pizzas are coming sideways and over the top of the thing. And oh man, that was that was a lot of fun. Somebody came in the morning. Can I have some pizza? Yeah, it's all over there in the kitchen place. You get all the pizza you want, man. What you're referring to is a picture that was taken at the same time, where we took a WIXY1260 bumper. Actually, there was two of them. One they mounted on the conning tower, if you know what a conning tower. Above that was a bunch of antennas and stuff. And of course, I've never been, real smart about things. And so I took another one and I climbed up as high as I could get. And I'm holding this sign, smiling. And I could have been in the water there dead. So that's the picture you're referring to. I'm up way up on the top of the boat, holding onto an antenna and a WIXY1260 sign.
We appreciate you so much being a part of WIXY. We know that you're doing different things now.
Yeah.
Where are you? And what are you doing? And we have a special thing we want to play for you before you get off the air with us today.
Ooh, how cool.
I know.
Is there any cake involved in this?
There can be.
There can be.
On that.
Maybe cookies. I can go down and see the cookie lady with the
Oh,
cookies.
the cookie lady gave us some yesterday. Bless her heart. I had her on my air this morning.
Yeah, she's good.
And you guys too. Yesterday I interviewed a bunch of people here.
Yeah, I heard that.
And I squished it all down and I put it on our air this morning on
really cool.
the Sunday Oldies jukebox.
Wow.
To answer your question more directly, for the last 22 years I've been the voice of FM 91.5 in Cleveland and still am. I've been on the automation system there every day for the past 20 years. Mostly at night, but I do I'm the voice of overnight. I get fan mail from Europe from that. And I was a paid employee, paid by the people that own the station. I also was the voice of the Old Oldies Weekend on FM 91.1 in Canton, Ohio.
Okay.
And now I do specials. I'm off the air now because I'm trying to get ready to retire, get this 50th. But I do specials every 2 weeks for the Sunday Oldies Jukebox.
Sunday.
Yes. Oh, I got to do that once.
Did you really?
Alex got sick, and I got to do that Sunday at beautiful Thompson Drag Raceway. It's Art Arfons and the Green Monster, and it's Dick Bash and the California Butch Leal and the I forgot. Anyway,
That's great.
That was fun.
I've always wanted to
Sunday,
do that.
yeah. I got, and I just happened to be in the right place at
The right
minute.
time, exactly.
Yeah, Alex, somebody used to do that spot. Sunday.
Hey, I got something for you.
Yes.
Can I play it?
Oh, I'm
Yep,
sorry.
go.
Why not?
And now, WIXY1260 presents another classic commercial.
Saturday night, under the lights at exciting Thompson Drag Raceway. It's Thompson's 6th annual Record Runs and Appreciation Day. Official track records will be recognized in all 400 classes. From superstocks to fuel dragsters, machines and drivers are tuned to perfection. Plus a special bonus match race as the Bob Earth Cobra Jet Mustang meets the Mini Rat Challenge of Don Nicholas in his 427 Camaro. Bill Johnson, former national record holder and president of the Bob Earth Ford Drag Club, will do the wheel work in his 1969 428 Cobra Jet Mustang.
Don Nicholas, the hustling hillbilly, wants to go fishing, but he's made the big switch to the Mini Rat 427 Camaro and plans on blowing the doors off the Cobra Jet and staying.
Thompson Drag Raceway, located east of Cleveland off Ohio Route 528, 7 miles south of the Interstate 90 freeway. Use Madison exit 61. All class record holders will receive a record certificate. Plus, collect $2 for each car eliminated in class runoff. It's gonna be a blast! Races begin 8:30, and children under 12 admitted free. Saturday!
It's exit 61.
Thompson Drag Raceway is the drag racing capital of Mid-America.
It's exit 61 at Thompson, beautiful Thompson Drag Raceway, every Saturday night under the lights.
That's good. That's good.
awesome.
A lot of memories.
Actually, I can't take credit for that recording. That wasn't me on that recording, but I think it was Chuck Dunaway, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know who that one was, but yeah, we thought we would play that for you.
Well, that's very cool. I'm glad you did that.
Well, I think we are all supposed to be getting up on the stage here, so
What?
Mark, we want to play this for you as we wrap up today. This is, I believe, we're going to play one of your air checks from WIXY.
Cool.
Have you heard these? Or how long's it been?
Well, I got two things here. That I
Okay,
wanna play.
all right, go ahead. We're going to turn this over to Magic Mike. Let him.
All right, ready? Let's go.
Magic Mike's going to do this. He's going to turn the amplifier up to 11, so it's one louder.
And now, another classic WIXY soundbite.
WIXY1260 with dynamite hits.
It is 6:09, and this is Mark Allen playing your favorite records at 578-1260. WIXY 1260 and a Guess Who weekend. Your chance to get me for a Guess Who album and a Guess Who hard to find t-shirt coming up in minutes. Stay by the phone. Your chance to win soon. WIXY 1260 is Cleveland's music radio. 6:15. This is Mark Allen playing all your favorites at 578-1260. Well, I can't play it unless you tell me what it is. All right, for Cleveland, the Elton John Band here. Billy Freedom. I used to be a Rolling Stone. WIXY 1260, the Cleveland Pay Center. This is Mark Allen at 749 and all the Motown Gold you can stand at 578-1260. And tonight at 8 o'clock, 11 minutes from right now, Casey Kasem presents the world
American
famous
Top 40.
American Top 40. From your buddies at WIXY 1260, okay? From the request line, 578-1260. This is Ace for Cleveland. How long?
I'm gonna play another thing here. You ready? Here we go.
Mark Allen.
Does that bring back a lot of memories?
Oh my goodness, it certainly does. I don't know, is this? Yes, it's on.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful time. I can't stress how much the fun we had and the relationship with the listeners and the promotion and the things we did. I don't know if you got time, but I would like to tell you a quick story about a promotion called The Last Contest.
Okay.
Where it's prize number 161, 61,000 muskrats. And prize number 162 was like a house.
Wow.
This was when, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger, The Last Contest. And you had to guess what was in a packing crate that was taken to different shopping centers, and this thing was way up in the air on a crane, and you had to guess what was in there. The woman that won didn't read the rules. You couldn't win within 30 days, and this was, and I remember her name. I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
But she was a professional winner. Had radios around all day and played contests, and she was winning. She had won within 30 days when she correctly guessed what was in the crate. Nobody's going to ask?
What was in the crate?
Tom Jones bow tie.
Really?
Yep.
I like Tom Jones.
It's great. Well, Tom Jones is a good man.
You know what I like to? You know what I want to do next time he comes in concert? I want to throw my panties up on stage.
Throw your panties up there. He'll appreciate that. He won't be able to do anything about it, but he'll appreciate the fact that you did that.
Tom
And they'll
Jones.
still be warm.
They'll still be
Oh my
What
goodness.
color will they
Okay,
be?
I'm
It's a
leaving.
family show.
Behave yourself, would you?
Exactly. Mark,
Yes.
it has been wonderful to have you on WIXY 1260 again.
Oh, I'm glad to be back on WIXY 1260.
We got to get
What
him
a
to
hoot.
sign the shirt. Did you sign our shirt?
We have a shirt that's
Yes,
been going
I did.
around.
Oh, you did?
I did. It says,
You signed it already?
Rock on, Mark Allen.
Cool.
You're awesome.
Very
Thank
cool.
you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
here. We appreciate
Bless
it.
your heart.
Thank you.
Young man.
Please
And all of you
keep in
that
touch
were
with us. And
Rock on.
yeah, we would love to have you come visit us again sometime soon, please.
Yeah, I will. I would love to do that. Come down sometime and see your station over there. And I guess we're not telling where it is. I know where it is. That'd be a lot of fun. Remember, the music is the star.
It certainly
Hey,
is.
Mark, do you want to intro the song?
Certainly you do.
What is it?
How
Point
about
it
some Tears of a Clown? You
Tears of. I can do that one. I got a job
Okay.
doing that one.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Okay. Early rock, this is a great song. Stevie Wonder and his own brands of insight. It's called The Tears of a Clown.
All right, great. Mark Allen, thank you very much.